pull up a...
I didn't give up. That's the difference.
Your mum sounds nice.
Yeah, she was.
Hey, cheeky
Hey.
dogs! Thank you everyone so much for joining us today. Welcome to our Beyond Bluey podcast, where we will be doing a deep dive into the episode Dragon for today. Of course, you have myself, Aussie Gal Margie.
And we have Pugly here. I'm very happy to start this. Dragon, as you guys know, is a very special episode for me. I'm very excited to talk about it. It's like has a lot of nice meanings. It has like stuff about resolving grief, stuff about like art inspiration, and like how enthusiasm like helps you, and sometimes it doesn't. Well, not doesn't, but like, you know, how the opposite of such can cause the opposite of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So for those of you as well who are joining us today, if you're on with us live, you can jump into the live chat as well. We'll try and throw your comments up on the screen whenever we can. We also are streaming over onto Pugly's Twitch stream as well. So
Yay.
I should be able to get some of you guys up on the screen there as well if you're on Twitch and following us on there as well. But otherwise, let us know in the comment section or in the live chat where you guys are watching from today, and also what you think of the episode Dragon as well as we go along. So let's get started then. So the very first thing we want to talk about, of course, was Bucky versus Chili versus Grandma Cattle, basically. So I figured maybe let's start with like the Bucky part, because that was like really the bullying or the negative pain that basically comes with it.
That doesn't look like a car.
I kind of gave up drawing cars after that. Gave up drawing altogether, really.
So yeah, super sad scene. Also, Bucky Dunstan, the first sign that we saw of him before the episode The Sign.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, it is pretty funny. What did you think of that little scene with Bucky in the flashback?
Oh, you know, like if we're talking about like strictly Bucky, I thought it was so interesting to kind of have like, because he has such a disdain for his voice, because he's like, ugh, Bucky Dunstan. And like it's so interesting because there's history between the two, but we never get to see it. But the history that we do get to see is like, you know, like Bucky just bringing down Bandit, and it's not necessarily like he's just like, what? How old do you think he is there? 6'9"?
I think he's meant to be 6 or 7 as well, because it's meant to be like they're showing what both Chili and Bandit were like at the same age that Bluey is like at that time. So I think she's meant to be like, I don't know, depending on where we are on the timeline, 6 or 7. I think that's where they are. Someone was at Indepel here says Bucky was rude. That could have looked like an 80s car. Yeah, I think it looks like an 80s car. I think he did well. But I think, like, in comparison, like, yeah, I think this happens to kids a lot, obviously. Like, a lot of time kids, I don't think they do it intentionally, but they just go, it's just like the brutal, honest truth, but it does have so much implications for how the person, like, doing it sort of takes in. Like, a lot of people here in the chat are saying, like, yeah, it was really rude, everything like that. Bucky is like the mean girl of Bluey.
Oh my god.
So yeah,
Right.
So basically, yeah, Wolf is saying they're 6 or 7 years old, and kids in their 6 or 7, like, I don't know, my son's getting close to that age. He's almost 5, but like he's aware sometimes that things he says can hurt people, and other times, like he'll tell me like food is yuck. I'm like, that really hurt my feelings, but he's not doing it.
I made
on purpose.
that. And you hate it?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm so upset. So I think Bucky in this case, obviously he did that, but then like we see like the flash forward of how that affected Bandit, and he's 40 now and it still affects
I'll
him.
give it a go, but I'm not a very good drawer. See what I mean?
Am I a good drawer?
You're a great drawer.
And it is really crazy because it happens all the time for kids. Like getting that like just one seed of like doubt planted into your mind ruins so many kids' inspirations. And it's usually like usually around like the time like kids are like 5, they just draw. Like kids draw and draw and draw, and they love it. Like Bingo here is an excellent example of that. Bingo's just drawing for fun. She doesn't care if it looks good or not, and it does look good for a 5-year-old, I'd say. And
yeah,
he's having a
pretty decent artwork. I think let's do the clip because it's so funny.
A motorbike? I thought this was an old-timey Elfie story.
Bingo, do you want to come with us to find the dragon? Yes!
That's the best.
I love that. Yes. Another reason why Bingo is like one of the favorites, because she's just so funny. But yeah, I think it's like a perfect example of like, yeah, when someone says something to you when you're a child and how you just kind of hold on to it And not
Mhm.
purposely. I think it's just something that happens when you're discouraged so early on. And we can see that Bandit is obviously trying to prevent that with Bluey by encouraging her and being
Absolutely.
like, you're a great drawer, like, you're amazing. Because he still remembers that hurt that Bucky did to him all the way back when he was like 6, 7 years old. So,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
feel, yeah.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But what I think is really cool is that the animators have I'll pull up a clip real quick. But the animators have this amazing scene, two different scenes where you can kind of see both of their self-doubt is represented by the same type of like the same expressions. Like Bluey's like, "Can't you tell it's a fairy wings?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, of course." And then like for Bandit here on the side, he was just told like, "Hey, like that yeah, it's supposed to be a donkey. Like of course it's supposed to be a donkey, not a horse." And he's looking discouraged, and it's so interesting to see that they're like quite paralleled with the animation style as well as how they express their doubt. I love that. It's just the little bits of
Yeah.
detail seen in this episode are great as well as any other episode.
Yeah, I think that's good as well because we can see, like, as we mentioned here, so we have Bucky versus Chili versus Grandma Cattle, and then Chili obviously is doing the same thing as what Bandit's doing. Like, they're both trying to encourage their daughters to like keep drawing and everything like that. I think we have it this part
Horses
here.
are hard to draw.
Can I join in?
Wow, that horse is beautiful.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's all right.
Oh, well, I'm not that good.
Yes, you are.
It's great.
So
Oh
it's
my
like,
god.
yeah. So obviously, like, Chili, while she's being very modest, is obviously a much better drawer, but that's because, of course, her mum constantly encouraged her to keep drawing and was still honest with her. They're like, yeah, it's not great, but you know, like,
Right.
I think
I feel like I would never have the courage to say it like that. But yeah, I love it. It's true. I love the way how she approaches it.
Yeah, I think it reminds me a lot of Uncle Stripe when he says to Muffin, he's like, "Look, you aren't the best kid in the world," kind of thing, and she's like, "Oh," he's like, "But you are to me." It's like that brutal, honest truth followed by, "But do this," and like I don't know, I feel like it works really well. Like this is the clip
It's
here.
not as good as the one in the picture.
You're right. It isn't.
What?
But it's pretty good for a 7-year-old.
Really?
Yep. Keep practicing. You'll get better. Just don't ever give up, Chili.
Yeah,
It's so sweet. It's
it
so
is.
unbelievably sweet. Like when I watch this episode, it's like that is like one of the 5 sucker punches in the episode, maybe like 3, that just like get me. And it's like, dang. And like right after, she's like, yeah, she was a good mom. And it's like, oh, it's so sweet. It kills me.
Everyone here as well being like, it's such an emotional scene. Chili's mom looks so beautiful. Another like, I love Chili's mom. Like, I think it's again like it shows both that like Chili and Bandit are trying to replicate basically Grandma Cattle in this one by like encouraging their kids to like just keep trying, don't give up, but not telling them straight out that's not a car or like that's not a dragon. So I think it's again it shows you like the power of your words and specifically the type of words that you use because again like they didn't think that Humpty Dumpty was Humpty Dumpty. like
No.
it was obviously meant to be a dragon, but it was like such a difference. Like Bandit could have been like, that's not a dragon, or like Bingo even could have been like, that's not a dragon. But like I love that Bingo's so in tune with Bluey that she knows it was meant to be a dragon. I think that's really sweet as well. So I think it's like it really pushes through, I think, the idea of like the power of words, especially when you're so young, and like how to teach your kids not only to never give up, but also like how to I don't know. I think it's also always trying to teach us like how to rephrase things or like how to say things in a positive light rather than a negative light.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's like it's so good. And like the 2 backs like show like an awesome dichotomy of like what happens when you give up and what you don't give up and how that affects or how that is caused by like the environment that surrounds you. It really makes a difference. It's incredible.
Yeah. On a very off topic, Shadow Bob says, off topic, but I love the space time shirt you have on. Yeah, guys, this is a sleepy time sweater. Just gonna show it off because yeah, Pugly when he saw it, he's like, oh my god, that's amazing.
It's so good, guys.
Okay, floppy. But, it's from I don't know if you can see the back. I'll try. But,
Look at that.
yeah, it's official merch. It's from Box Lunch. They just got like a bunch of Bluey stuff. America finally has some really good Bluey stuff, which is amazing, especially for adults. But yeah, so I saw this and I was like, I need to get it. Even though I'll only get to wear it while I'm here in the US because I don't think it's ever going to get cold enough where I live in Australia to wear it. So this is my only chance.
Vibes.
Yeah. But anyway, let's talking more, I guess, specifically about Chili's mum, aka Grandma Cattle. I think I was so happy, obviously, for us to finally get to meet her and to like get some of the answers, because like I think we all had assumed that she had died because like, we
Oh
just
my
hadn't
God.
seen her for
Mhm.
3 seasons.
Right.
And like when they went to see Grandpa Mort, she wasn't there at all. And like Brandy, like they kind of hinted at it a bit with like Brandy being like, the dance we used to do for mom, and like, but they didn't talk about their mom. So I
Oh,
feel
so
like,
sweet. Yeah, that's a
yeah,
good the good callback or whatever. That's awesome. I didn't think
yeah.
about that.
So I think like I really loved like the style that they did for her as well, and the fact that like I don't know, she's a perfect mix of both Chili and Brandy. I thought that was so beautiful and everything like that. And then of course
Yeah.
the parallel of like her obviously being the horse during the whole arc of the story for Chili and everything like that. Just like absolutely gorgeous. Like I was, yeah.
I feel stupid. I just realized the horse is the same color as the mom. I know that's so obvious. I don't know why
How
I
did
never
you
noticed that. I never noticed it. Like I knew it was Chili's mom. I just never looked at the colors. I was too focused on the symbolism. Oh my God. I'm so
Yeah.
dumb.
I think that's like that's for me specifically why they chose it.
God.
I'm like, obviously I thought that was like the most obvious giveaway. I can't believe you didn't notice that one.
I'm so stupid.
Let me know in the live chat, guys, if you guys notice this as well, that the horse was colored the same as her mom.
Jesus Christ. I'm sorry.
I think that's why as well, like, because yeah, like obviously a Palomino is a gorgeous one, but like they could have done like a bunch of other colors, like black would have made sense as well to
Mhm.
represent like death, or
Absolutely.
even like white, like pure white to
Yeah,
represent
purity.
death and things like that. But
Mhm.
but yeah, I think like that's why obviously they had the white wings, was to like show, you can see in our background up here the white Pegasus flying away.
Yeah.
But yeah, so obviously that was meant to like represent, yeah, her mum passing away and everything like that, which was so beautiful and so sad. Oh, do we have? Yeah, I think we do this part.
You're not coming, are you? Thank you.
So
So
I
sweet.
teared up so much at that scene.
Oh my
like,
God. Yeah.
Absolutely just was like bawling, crying. I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. Like,
It's
and it's
so
not even
good.
like the very end sort of thing. Like, oh my gosh. But I think it's like it's one of those like the like few seconds that Bluey seems to always do, where like it just like hits you right in the heart.
Mhm.
But yeah, what did you think when you first saw that scene of Chili saying goodbye to the horse?
Oh my God. Like you said, started crying immediately. But I was going through it like during when I watched this episode. Like I had like a mom that like passed away like just like about like 2 years ago. And like I never came to like the acceptance of her grief. And this episode helped a lot because like seeing Chili finally being able to make peace with the passing of one of her parents hit so incredibly hard. And it makes me it makes me really happy because like she didn't like really accept the passing of her mom until like I'd say this episode, or maybe even I think it's fully symbolized in that. And like it took her for her being a mother. We don't know how long ago the mother passed away, so it took her from like her kids being born. We know the kids never met them, like the grandma, based on the wording. So that's like 6-7 years of, or even more of like her mom being passed away, and she just going through it the whole time, and she didn't accept it until this moment. It's really beautiful.
Yeah. So I did a video ages ago about like the timeline on when we think that she might have actually passed away. And then actually this week I've been like re-uploading parts of that as like shorts and / TikTok reels. So some of you guys who have been watching my channel, you've probably seen like me bringing it up this week because I knew we were doing the podcast this weekend, so I thought it was a good chance to bring it up. But yeah, there's sort of like 3 theories on when she might have passed away. Like one is if she passed away when Chili was around like, I think it was like about 10 years old. So that's why she doesn't remember Bandit from the camping trip, because she has trauma, and then like that's caused memory loss. So that's why she doesn't remember. So that's theory 1. And then theory 2 is that she passed away when Chili was about her 20s. And that's why Chili draws herself looking so much younger in this episode, because that's the age she was when her mum passed away. So like she has no gray hairs in this, obviously. She obviously looks a lot younger. She's got like the fluffy hair. So there's that theory. And then the third theory is that she passed away just after Bandit and Chili got married. And that's why she had the miscarriage, because of the trauma of losing her mom, and that can cause miscarriage. So it's like,
that's the one I've always thought of, but the other 2 you just brought up, I've never thought of. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
so
those are really good.
All about those really dark and depressing theories, but I think it is like, yeah, it is a really cool thing. But something I found really interesting, I don't know if you knew this, but this whole story about her losing her mum was actually based on Joe Brum's dad. So
Right. I remember hearing about that when I
Yeah.
was researching the grandpa episode. I remember hearing all of this. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got the clip here actually. I will throw it up now. Where we got it? Here we go.
Oh, is it no sound? It's no sound for me at least. I don't. Can
Oh
everyone hear it?
no. Boo. Why is there no sound?
Uh-oh.
Of course, that's always the way, right? Like, oh, maybe there's no
Man.
sound because that's plugged in. Anyway, it's Joe Brum talking about the fact that his granddad passed away just before his dad became a dad, basically. And so he had to navigate fatherhood without his actual father being there and not being able to talk to him or ask him, everything like that. So he wanted to do an episode about a parent becoming a parent without their parent, basically. And trying to like figure that out. So I thought that was like amazing. Yeah, sorry guys, I don't have the sound. I think it's because of how my earphones and speaker are set up. Apologies. Technical difficulties. Yeah, always the way. But yeah, that's basically what he says though. Is like he put so much of his own life into this, and like Wales, yeah, you just mentioned it. Constantly, like Baby Race is based off his wife. Like he wanted to do a tribute to her when they first had their first children. Someone in their life was infertile, like Brandy. He doesn't say who, but that is based off someone as well. Unicorse is real. Like it's all about his life basically. But the fact that this episode is about his granddad passing away before his dad could ask him like how to be a dad, I thought that was just like really beautiful and just one of those like really gorgeous things. I think
that is really good. Now that's like another layer on top of every other layer that makes this episode even more amazing. That's crazy. Oh my god.
I know. It's just like, and that's the thing, like when she had to like, say goodbye, I agree with you. Like this is the first time that she's actually resolved her grief. Like that's why all of a sudden in season 3, we see the photos back up on the wall of her family for the very first time. It's why she's talking to Brandy again. Like everything's just like Chili's resolving all of her trauma and grief and everything this season, I think is like one of the main things that they decided to do, which is like pretty heavy, obviously, for a kid's show.
It is.
But yeah, someone here is like, this is a layered cake. Exactly.
Oh my god. It's
Chili
the layerness. It's so many layers. There's so many lessons in this one episode. It's so good.
Yeah. So, and I think that was the thing is, you guys can kind of see it like just underneath us here, but like the whole point is that like everyone's in the car ready to go, except for like Chili, because she's not ready to leave her mum yet, and she has to say goodbye because her mum obviously also can't get in the car and go with them because she can't keep holding on to that grief with her mum. She has to let it go if she wants to continue on with her kids and grow and be an amazing parent still and everything like that. Because she's, again, because I did the copycat video recently, like all I've got stuck in my head is like how the kids copy their parents. And their parents are the ones that are showing the example of how to react to situations. So I feel like, again, Chili resolving her grief and showing how to let go is, again, showing her girls how to resolve grief and let go. I mean, yeah. Was it someone like, there's lots of, icing and grief cake. Good job. Bingo healer. Yes, a little theory, icing and cake. I love it. Very true. Pavlova layers and everything. I love it.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So I feel like, that sort of brings up, I don't know, what did you think about how they chose to show Chili resolving her grief with this?
Oh, it's great. I mean, like, I think it's really hard to like talk about that because like so many times, like when you think about grief, but trauma is that like the memories are like repressed. So I wonder like how hard it was for like Chili to like bring up those old memories of her mom, and like there's like a tingent or something of like sadness in her voice when she speaks about her mom.
Oh,
and like when she says like she was, like you can notice that it's so sad. And it's like you have that clip, yeah?
I think yes.
It's not as good.
I didn't give up. That's the difference.
Your mum sounds nice.
Yeah, she was.
And I love that voice acting because there's a thing in like therapy where it's like if like someone's words and emotions are having a disconnect, that usually is a tall tale sign of like either like some type of depression, some type of sadness, or even just rage. And
Yeah.
I would imagine it would be more depression for her. It's so good. I love that voice acting line. It's so simple, so sweet, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, I really like this comment from Party Pie. I think that Dragon portrays grief better than Copycat because of how more realistic the feelings are shown. I think they actually show a really good difference between like the stages of grief, because obviously in Copycat we see what happens. The bird is about to die and then it does die, and like the reaction like right there and then, versus her mom obviously has been gone for at least minimum 7 years at this point with the age of Bluey and not knowing her grandma. So I think it's meant to show very much like the stages of grief of like when it first happens in Copycat versus what happens when you hold on to that grief for a very long time and being able to process it and let it go. And then again, of course, like kids versus adults and how they handle their grief. Kids, I think, are much faster.
I never quite thought about it like the stages of grief. I've always associated it how grief is dealt with children, because like Copycat is an amazing showcase of how children deal with grief, oftentimes in real life.
Yeah.
While this one is more like adult, because like with children, they can usually I wouldn't say they freely express it, but they have like an easier time just associating something to expressing it, because kids usually can listen to their body more. Like a lot of times when you deal with grief, you got to just listen to your body and stuff. And as an adult, you slowly lose the ability to just listen to your body, because a lot of times what your body is telling you to do is what's good for you. And we kind of have to act against that as an adult. And I really kind of more thought about it like that for the 2 episodes. But I think the stages of the grief is another layer for the Pavlova that is the amazing dragon.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I feel like the episode Dragon just doesn't get enough love. Like, I mean, but it's hard because obviously season 3 had a lot of incredible episodes, and like Onesies obviously stood out as one of the most like traumatic, sad ones alongside like The Sign, I think. But I don't know. I feel like Dragon is, of course, like on the same level for me as Granddad, and I feel like it doesn't get as much love as Granddad does. And I don't know why, because like I think there's so many cool things to this, like even moving on just from Chili's grief, but like talking about the animation styles and references. Like, I love how different the animation was for this. I thought it was amazing and so cool. We had here as well. So for those of you who didn't know, or for anyone who doesn't watch Studio Ghibli films, the animation for Chili was inspired by a few things, but one of them was by Hayao Miyazaki's style. So you can see like this perfect example here. So Alice Walsh, so she's one of the art directors. So she wanted to do like these sort of like scenes for Chili looking a lot more like watercolor, Miyazaki style. But on top of that as well, she also referenced you can see down the bottom Beth Harvey, who's again one of the other animation directors. So this is what Beth Harvey's style looks like, which is like, yeah. And then this is like her watercolor style. So you can see again like how similar that is to like sort of Chili's drawing style, which I think is really cool. And then she also said she referenced this, which is Storybots, which again, you can kind of see like that kind of watercolor, the white spaces between like the color and the drawing and things like that. So I think it's like, yeah, I think they did a really great job of sort of showing that, especially with like those flashback scenes as well.
Absolutely. And it's funny. I was going to bring up a clip, but you had them all. Never mind. I was going to bring up, I mean, you can still bring it up just because we're still talking about it. But like, yeah, there's like so many like little bits of her copying the Miyazaki style. And like, I think it's like really shown in a nice way from this one trailer I found. You can kind of see so the animated like watercolor. It's not quite perfectly the same because you don't see the white in the background as like where they like, you know what I'm talking about, where they like have the color and then they have a white to like kind of show like the shine or whatever, the absence of color to accentuate the color of everything else. But everything else is like pretty cool. I don't know. I thought it was kind of nice to have like animation.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. There's someone just mentioned, oh my gosh, what happened to that? Oh, I just had you coming up. There we go. Watchdog. I mean, it's mentioned in an episode that Chili does watercolor. You're so right. I completely forgot about that. The episode, which one is it? It's where Bluey can't do. Is it Typewriter? No, it's not Typewriter. Yeah, it's Typewriter. Typewriter is the episode where Bluey can't do her play date after school, and they have to take gymnastics. Yeah. Oh, helicopter. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, and Chili mentions that like she can't do watercolor. Oh. Great. That's such a great catch. So yes, Chili.
I never noticed. That's so good.
Chili
Good
is the
job, guys.
watercolor. You guys are on it. Oh, I'm so mad that I missed that. Oh, that's so good.
So good.
So good. Because I think I know, because like Bandit's art style we know is like black and white because of the fact that like he is discouraged, and it's only at the very end that he actually draws like in color, which is awesome. But I do also
can
love
show all of their
you
different
got it?
art styles. I have a clip.
Nice. Here we go.
She's using Copic markers because she's more professional. She's using the markers. Bluey herself. Bingo's using crayons because it's fun, and then Sharpies for Bandit.
Bandit's just steady black and white. Poor Bandy. I do love though that like Bandit's design was based on Gru as well.
Oh my god,
as,
really?
Yeah. So Joe Brumm in the podcast as well also mentions that like this was a big inspiration of what he wanted him to look like, and then he also has like the same headband and the fairy jocks as well as here. So that was like one of the coolest things I thought as well, that I really liked it. I want to know actually in the live chat, out of if you guys can let us know, whose art style did you enjoy the most out of like Bluey, Bingo, Chili's, and Bandits? Where we got here. So he's like, there's so many references. There are, as always, so many references. I always laugh when I see on Reddit people being like, Bluey's not that deep, stop thinking into it. I'm like,
oh my god,
it is that deep.
It's like straight NPC energy. It's like the people that don't watch the show or just want to hate on it say that. It's crazy.
Yeah. I always find it funny. It's like people are just like, oh, these theories are ridiculous. I'm like, they proved the miscarriage theory was right. And I'm like,
yeah.
And I literally, I don't know if there's anyone here in the chat who's read Homestuck at all, but I've just spent like 2 hours of my life this week learning about Homestuck because Katriona Drummond, one of the art directors, put in so many references into the episode Kids. So I had to learn all about it to find it all.
Okay.
Like,
I just had to look up what that was. I know what it is.
Okay, yeah. Turns out Kids is filled with references. Oh my gosh. But yeah, a lot of people hear those saying that they really like Chili and Bingo's art style the most. And then we've got Wolf Fizzy saying they appreciate the different style between each of the members. Totally agree. But yeah, so I think that they all have like such beautiful styles, and I think it's really cool. But I guess then we can sort of talk then about our favorite Easter egg. What was your favorite Easter egg overall?
Okay, so I wanted to mention the drawing utensils being unique for everyone to kind of show their professional skill level, but I'll use another one just because like we already covered that and that would be boring. So in the behind the scenes podcast, Joe Brumm mentions that his adventures of learning to DM from his youth really inspired the fantasy adventure that we have here, and like how sometimes you would need to like improvise to provide a better experience to all the players present, which is really noticed heavily with the underlying theme for Bluey because she's always having to like change the thing to kind of make it more enjoyable for everyone. And like she's like, yeah, let's just have the dragon immediately. Nah, it's Humpty Dumpty. I'm self-conscious now. Let's just make the adventure, improvise it. Let's just improvise. That's what she does, just like, a D&D adventure. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. I love that as well. Like again, it was like a lot of, I think I've got a picture here. But yeah, it was proof yet again that like, Joe Brumm is a massive nerd like the rest of us, but he loves Dungeons and Dragons. And yeah, Dungeons and Dragons is such an amazing way of storytelling, and that each character like fit in. So like Chili was obviously this guy here in the middle, the ranger, and then Bandit was the barbarian, and then Bluey was like magician basically. Yeah. But then no one can really figure out what Bingo was.
I don't know. She's probably like, there's like this one class in D&D that like no one ever plays. It's called Acrobat. I feel like that'd be her. Like they're just like, or a bard. They just like mess around. They're all about agility and crap. I don't know. Or maybe she'd be an engineer because she has the car. I don't know.
Yeah, I think like Bingo like doesn't fit into like anything. Here we got here Bluey edits. Bingo was just her own thing. Yeah, she was her own classification. That's basically
which also happens in D&D a lot if y'all play.
Yeah, there we go. See, it all works out. One of my favorite ones, like obviously there was the hidden long dog, which was just ridiculous. I messaged the background artist Nick Reese about this, and I was like, where is it? I know it's in here. I can't see it. And so he was really sweet and sent me this image because you can't like really see it, like even on the high definition. Yeah. So he had to send me the actual high definition drawing of it. I was like, you guys, it's fun finding your long dogs, but make sure we can see them. So I liked that this was like a little mini Pegasus one, which was really cool. And then of course I did like the reoccurring theme of, where is it? Chili being She-Ra. So again,
oh my god, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's like the Pegasus at the end, because there's the She-Ra one, and then of course like the sword that Chili like holds at the very beginning as well, and it like shines and sparkles like the She-Ra sword. I wonder if that's in. I don't know if we have that in the clip. I don't
it
think
is
we
in
do.
one of the clips. It's like, hold on. I should be able to bring it up. I'm trying to find it. Yeah. It's horses are hard to draw. I
Hard
think
to
it's this one.
draw.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I think.
Can I join in?
Wait, no, this
Wow,
isn't the
that
one. I'm
horse
sorry.
is beautiful.
I don't think I want to skip to the part.
It's just
where it
after
says
that,
it.
yeah.
Ah, man, that's not the one. I have it here. I promise, guys. Hold on. I'm gonna find it.
Yeah,
gonna
but it's
find
it's
it.
really cute because like not only is it her like just pulling out the sword, but like it shines and sparkles just specifically like the She-Ra sword. So I think again it really brings up that like theory that it was Chili in Fairy Tale because she was dressed like She-Ra then. She obviously really loved She-Ra. They re-reference it again. I'm like, I'm just waiting for another episode where we go back to Mort's and there's like a closet in the background and it's got like the She-Ra sword sticking out of it and like the headpiece or something. And we'll be like, it was her all along. So
Right.
yeah.
Okay,
feel
I
like-
don't have the clip, I guess. I'm sorry. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Oh wait, I do. It was the clip I was showing. I was just too impatient. Hold on. I'm gonna skip to the part.
Hard to
Okay.
It's
there we
right
go.
I'm not that
here.
good.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
you
It's the whole
are.
like it's
Yeah,
so
the-
obvious
the
that it's
shiny
She-Ra.
That. There we go. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy. It's so good.
It's literally the same. I love it here. Or Bluey says they went too far with the long dog. I agree. It is so hard. And so I feel like there's some episodes that apparently don't have long dogs in it, but then the animator, like Nick says, like, no, they do. No one can find them. I'm like, well, give us the ultra HD version and maybe we'll find it.
I know.
That's how I
yeah.
feel.
And like
It
you
just
said, it
makes
was
me
like
laugh.
if you look at the chest, you literally can't recognize it on Disney Plus or like ABC
yeah.
or anything. It's crazy.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're gonna be live for about another 8 minutes, so we'll do like a general Q&A session like we normally always do. So feel free, throw it in the live chat now. Any questions that you would like to ask us, we'll throw them up on the screen and try to answer as many as we can these last few minutes as well. Just seeing if we've got any questions that have just popped up before. How's everyone's night, day, afternoon, evening, morning? Great, thank you for asking.
Yeah,
I love
it's 12 where I am. Or it's early. I guess still. I didn't really do much besides wake up and then start making sure everything's good. So I'm good, I guess. I didn't eat. I'm hungry.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. Party Pie. What mini-sodes are you excited for? Obviously drums I'm excited for, but also Whirlpool, because I really like
yes.
Chucky, so I'm really excited for that one as well. How about you?
I'm so happy you said the Whirlpool one because Chucky and Lucky never get screen time, and like I'd argue that
Lucky
Chucky
gets
got
none.
more. Yeah, Lucky is like, get out of here. You've been here since season 1, but we don't care about you. He gets no
I
episode.
know.
Chucky gets an episode, sorta. I'd say.
Oh, 2, I'd say. He gets the decider and he's predominantly in Pass the Parcel as well. I don't know anything about Lucky. I know he
It's
plays
crazy.
sports. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's absolutely wild. I want Whirlpool. Maybe we'll see more Lucky, but I'll be honest, I think Chucky's cuter than Lucky.
Yeah.
So
It's
I'm
like the
excited to see
Bingo
Chucky.
vs. Bluey issue again of like everyone loving Bingo more than Bluey.
Little
Poor thing.
like 4 and 5-year-olds are so cute. I don't know.
They are. They are. Wolf Ziki, thoughts on almost hitting 200k subscribers. I can't
Ooh.
believe it. I'm so excited.
Congrats.
I'm super happy about it. I'm gonna do something special for it. I don't know what yet, but I will do something for it. Elder Reed asks, are you guys going to Bluey World? We are planning to fly to Australia for that. Kenny, you going to Bluey World?
No, probably not. I've never been outside the country. I don't have
Yay.
like the means to do that. I don't even
Well,
have
fair enough then.
like
I take back my boo.
a passport. I don't have a passport. So
Oh, passports are like $80, mate.
I don't
Admittedly,
know
they're-
anything about anything.
admittedly, flights to Australia are much more expensive than $80, which is fair. Oh, good.
I'd
But,
love to. I would love to, guys, but I can't. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just not in the
I am going to be going to Bluey's World. Sorry, I just had to message my friend back then because we're going to a museum in like 5 minutes. I will be going to Bluey's World. I'll be going in December, so we will be back in Australia by then. So I will probably, maybe I might try to live stream while I'm there, but I will be doing like a vlog experience of it as well. So yeah, I will definitely show you guys that.
Awesome.
But,
Can't
yeah.
wait for that.
Yeah, I'm so excited. So Zoe asks as well, who do you think is the nicest character in Bluey?
Oh my god, Rusty. I'm like, Rusty's so sweet. I mean, there's like
He is,
one
yeah.
moment where he's like, moms don't go to work. They stay home and look after the baby. It's
Yeah.
like, he wasn't trying to be mean. He was just stating what he thought was facts. And it's like, otherwise, he's so nice. He does that awesome, like, hitting up the ball for Dusty. I think there's a name for that, the popping up for cricket.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, it's so sweet. Rusty's the nicest. He's so freaking sweet. And he made Jack, like, I'd say Jack get rid of his, like, self-doubt. Like, he was the friend that Jack needed. Oh,
Yeah.
Rusty's so good.
Rusty's good. I think like Leela is really sweet. Leela's one of like the nicest ones as well. Because I don't think she
oh my
said
god, yeah,
anything
Leela
negative
might
so
be
far.
better. I don't know.
Yeah, I know, it's so hard. There's so many. Another question we have is, do you have any theories for Granddad?
Like, are we talking about like Grandpa Mort or like?
I think
Bob?
Granddad is in Granddad Mort, I would say, because it's Grandpa Bob, Granddad Mort.
that
My
makes
theory is that the oh my god, I can't believe I've got the name of it, but the cross that's in the entrance hallway for the healers, that belongs to him. And it's just completely gone out of mind. There's medals, there's military medals at the very front of Chilean Bandit's house.
Oh yeah. Of course, I know you're talking about, and it's like it's pretty close to his like portrait. Like it's like off in the distance, like around the corner, I think. But it's like his portrait in the same area. It's near the front door. I know we're talking about.
Yeah.
I think
and then so I think that's mine. Sorry, well, I wasn't meant to do that one. What do you have any theories on Granddad?
You know, I don't think about a lot of headcanons. I'll be honest. I don't think a lot. Like, I'll be honest.
That's my...
like that's fine. Like, I love hearing headcanons, and it blows my mind hearing what people think of. But like, I'm so focused on like the symbolism, everything, and I'm just like analyze. I just like never really think about for Grandpa Mort. Yeah, I can't think of any theories for him besides like maybe what type of war he'd be in, but everyone thinks about that. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's like
Vietnam
done to
for sure.
topic.
I do like this question because I think it's good to answer it. HGO, the GC Scorpio says, what are your thoughts on the rumored season 4 and season 5? I would like to say yes. Rumors confirmed. The range of dates is still up in the air. Like based on like that internal document that they leaked, it's meant to be, 2026 and 2027, and like back to back season 4, season 5. I don't know how they would achieve that, to be honest. Like, I think, sure, 2026 was it took them 3 years to release season 3. Like, I think it's very overly ambitious to think that they will get out 2 seasons, 104 episodes in 2 years. Not a chance. But yeah, I think that was very ambitious for them to put that, unless they are hiring a crazy amount of people.
Right.
Like, they still haven't hired all the animators back. They're all half of them are in Melbourne. Yeah.
Like,
so
I spoke with Alice Walsh about it, and she said, "Oh, I didn't know like about this," and I was like, I was like,
oh, she replied back. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that doesn't sound happy, but all right. Well, I
Yeah.
hope you come back, but maybe they hire other people because, like, once again, Alice Walsh wasn't in the show until season 3, I believe, or maybe season 2. So I mean, it's not uncommon to get like new animators and artists and stuff, but I haven't seen anybody hired back.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, I think especially if they wanted to push out so much in such a quick time frame, they would hire back the people who already know how to do this. Like, there's no way that they would want to retrain people for the ins and outs of, like, especially when they already have a massive crew of 50 people who already know how to do this. So I feel like once they're ready and they're gonna greenlight the production to start, that's when all of a sudden, like, we will see on Instagram the artists like changing their location from like Melbourne to Brisbane, and that's like that'll be the key, is seeing when their Instagram profiles basically change. Like, that's when. So I think until we see that, like, there's not going to be, we won't know really much else.
Right, and I have no doubt it's gonna happen. Like, it's gonna happen. It's like the question is when. You know what I mean? Which we just got to be patient. They're making mini episodes. That's a good sign. I say that's like the best sign we have for it still being going on. So if anybody's scared, don't worry. We're fine.
There is still no word about the movie. There was no mention of a movie either in that document. That was like their 5-year plan. So I mean, maybe season 5 is the movie. I don't know.
Oh my god.
It's like them trying to be really incognito about it. But yeah, 2026 is a long way away. We do have like the Halloween and Christmas episode for next year, apparently. So that'll like see people through. But But yeah, otherwise it's just the mini-sodes until then. That's what we
Yeah.
got. That's what we're gonna be happy with. So I mean, it is what it is. But otherwise, guys, we will have to wrap it up here. Thank you all so much for joining us on both YouTube and on Twitch as well. We really appreciate it. We will be doing a live watch along, of course, when the mini-sodes drop in Australia. So that will be October 3rd here in the US. If Kenny can get off work to do it, then we'll be doing it together.
I requested it. I'm pretty sure I
Yes.
can. It's just usually I only work Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I'm like, it has to be a Thursday, the one time. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It just has to be the way. But so fingers crossed, then we'll both be doing it together. We'll watch all those mini episodes. There's still no word whether a muffin unboxing will be in Australia or not.
Oh my god, I forgot.
I know. I can't.
Oh.
Yeah. So hopefully that'll be addressed. But otherwise, yeah, thank you all so much for joining us. And we will see you guys for that live stream when the mini-sodes come out.